What's up, bro? Welcome back to Car Lust. Today's video is not normal. This is the kind of video that makes Detroit nervous, Germany uncomfortable, and Canada very interested because Canada may be unlocking something huge. 5 Chinese sedans that could completely shake the market, and I'm talking real sedans, not cheap throwaway cars. These are fast, premium, loaded with tech, aggressive in price, and honestly, some of them look better than what BMW, Tesla, and Mercedes are charging double for. I said it while some legacy brands are still selling the same shape with a bigger screen every year. China is pulling up with futuristic designs, monster range, luxury cabins, and prices that make no sense. This is absurd. And if these cars hit Canada properly, things could get very interesting before we begin. I got one question for you. How much do you think the most expensive sedan on this list costs? $80,000? $70,000? $60,000? Wait until you see what's coming. And real quick, bro, subscribe to Car Lust. This content takes real effort, research, editing, and grind. And your one click can fruit that effort in a short way and help this channel grow big. Now sit back, don't rush, because we're starting with the sedan that looks like it came from the future and made Tesla owners nervous. Xpeng P7 Plus, bro. This car is wild first look, and you instantly understand this is not some budget experiment. This is a full-size electric fastback sedan with presence length, around 5 meters wheelbase, nearly 3 meters. That means serious cabin space. Bigger road presence than a Tesla Model 3, and getting dangerously close to Model S territory. The exterior is sleek, low, smooth, and dramatic thin LED light bar across the front. Sharp daytime running lights, flush door handles, coupe-like roofline, bro. It looks like someone mixed a Porsche Taycan with a sci-fi movie. And the crazy part, it doesn't look desperate for attention like some EVs. It looks expensive. Interior, step inside. Yo, hold on. This cabin is
Clean, premium, futuristic, massive central infotainment display, digital driver, cluster, minimal dashboard, soft touch materials, ambient lighting, panoramic roof. This thing feels more modern than some German sedans still using button farms. From 2018, you get huge rear legroom. Thanks to the long wheelbase, Canada families will love that. Tesla, minimalism can feel empty. Sometimes this feels premium and warm. Performance. Now let's talk numbers depending on version. Power can go over 300 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 5 to 6 seconds depending on trim, bro. That's family sedan, quick, some versions are even faster range, up to around 700 kilometers. CLTC, depending on battery spec, real world will be lower, obviously, but still seriously competitive. That means Toronto to Ottawa style runs become realistic without panic attacks. Technology and safety. This is where Xpeng goes. Full nerd mode, advanced driver assistance, multiple cameras, radars, smart parking lanes, centering, adaptive cruise, and bro. Some brands charge luxury money for features like this. Xpeng throws it in and says enjoy multiple airbags, structural safety systems, modern crash engineering, price and value. Now, guess the price. Seriously. Guess, because depending on trim in China, it can undercut many premium rivals massively. Think less than comparable BMW i4, less than Tesla Model 3, performance territory. In many cases, this is where the panic starts. Practicality, big trunk, comfortable rear seats, daily usable range, easy EV running costs. This is not just a showpiece, it's actually practical. Owner experience. Owners love the tech, quiet ride, and premium feel. They feel like they bought tomorrow's car without paying German badge tax. Final reaction. Bro, if this lands in Canada properly, people are gonna ask dangerous questions. Why am I paying more for less? That's the problem for legacy brands. So tell me honestly, would you pick the Xpeng P7 Plus over a Tesla Model 3 or BMW i4? Comment below and stay with me, because the next 4 sedans get even crazier. Now let's move to the second car. And bro, this one might be the biggest threat to European compact sedans on this whole list. Nio ET5, this is the car that makes BMW 3 Series owners nervous, Tesla Model 3 owners curious, and Audi fans Suddenly very quiet because Nio didn't build a cheap sedan, they built a premium electric sports sedan with serious attitude. Exterior, first look. And this thing is clean, not loud, not trying too hard, just elegant and sharp length, around 4.79 meters width, about 1.96 meters wheelbase, 2.89 meters. That puts it right in the sweet spot of a BMW 3 Series and close to Tesla Model 3 territory. But honestly, it looks more expensive than both. Flush door handles, frameless windows, slim, LED headlights, smooth coupe-like roofline, wide athletic stance. Bro, this thing looks like an Audi designer, got unlimited freedom and no budget limits. The rear end is especially
Classy, no fake vents, no weird gimmicks, no nonsense interior, step inside, and hold on. This is where Nio starts disrespecting rivals. Premium leather options, clean, Scandinavian style, dashboard, large center screen, digital driver, display, ambient lighting, high-end materials everywhere, and then there's Nomi, that little AI assistant sitting on the dash. Bro, car literally has a rotating voice. Assistant? Like a tiny robot companion. This is absurd. BMW gives you menus, Nio gives you a dashboard. Creature, rear seat room is strong, front seats are supportive, and overall the cabin feels expensive. Genuinely expensive. Performance, now let's talk. Power ET5 dual motor AWD versions produce around 483 horsepower. Yeah, bro. Almost 500 horsepower in a sleek daily sedan, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 4 seconds. That is sports car territory. That means some V8 sedans from the past would get embarrassed by this quiet Chinese missile range. Depending on battery pack, around 500 kilometers, plus real usable potential depending on conditions, with higher official ratings depending on cycle. And then comes the wild feature, battery swapping. Instead of waiting to charge, Nio can swap batteries at dedicated stations in minutes. Bro, imagine pulling in nearly empty and leaving full, faster than buying coffee. Tesla owners just blinked. Technology and safety, this is where ET5 gets serious. LiDAR on some versions, multiple cameras, radars, advanced driver assist, adaptive cruise lane, centering smart summon style features depending on region. Safety structure is modern, rigid, and packed with airbags and active systems. This is not budget car safety. This is premium level engineering. Price and value. Now guess the price, because this is where things get dangerous. In many markets, it can compete below similarly spec'd BMW i4, Mercedes EQE, or loaded Tesla trims. You're getting premium cabin, insane power, advanced tech, and battery innovation without the same badge tax. That's a problem for Germany. Practicality, usable trunk, good rear seating, comfortable suspension, balance, all-weather AWD capability. This is not some weekend toy you can commute, road trip, carry family, and still gap traffic lights when needed. Owner experience. Owners usually praise the quiet cabin, premium finish, smooth acceleration, and Nio ownership ecosystem. That ecosystem matters. Lounges, service experience, battery swap network in supported regions. It feels like joining a premium tech club more than buying a car. Final reaction. Bro, the Nio ET5 is what happens when China stops trying to be cheaper and starts trying to be better. That's when competitors get uncomfortable, because if this reaches Canada in the right way, people will compare it to BMW, Audi, Tesla, and some will choose this. Now, be honest, would you pick the Nio ET5 over a BMW 3 Series, Tesla Model 3, or Audi A4? Comment below, because the next sedan is coming with even more chaos. Now let's move to the third car. And bro, this one is straight up shocking. Geely Galaxy E8. This is the moment where people realize China is not just making EVs, it's making luxury tech missiles on wheels. And honestly, if this lands in Canada, some German brands are going to start sweating immediately. Exterior. First looks, what is this? This thing looks like a concept car that accidentally made it into production. Long, low, wide stance, ultra sleek roofline, full width LED lighting. hidden door handles, smooth aerodynamic body length, around 5.01 meters wheelbase, about 2.93 meters. Bro, that's executive sedan size. This thing is longer than a Tesla Model 3, longer than BMW 3 Series, and entering BMW 5 Series territory. And the drag coefficient is seriously low too, helping efficiency and range. The front end looks futuristic without trying too hard. The rear looks premium and expensive. This doesn't look like a budget alternative. This looks like a flagship statement. Interior, now step inside and hold on tight, because this is where the Galaxy E8 goes. Crazy, massive ultra-wide screen stretching across the dashboard. Yes, bro. Almost the entire dash becomes a digital display. This is absurd. Mercedes gave us hyperscreen drama. Geely looked at that and said, cool. Now watch this. You get a clean floating center console, ambient lighting, premium materials, minimal modern dashboard design, huge glass roof, feel in many trims. Rear seat space is excellent. Thanks to the long wheelbase, this is the kind of car where passengers feel important, not just transported. Performance. Now let's talk numbers depending on version. Power ranges from around 268 horsepower, single motor, to over 600 horsepower, dual motor AWD variants. Yeah, bro. Over 600 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 3.5 seconds for top versions. That is supercar, quick for a family sedan. Imagine lining up next to an older V8 sports sedan and getting silently deleted. Range. High-capacity versions can offer around 600 kilometers, plus official figures depending on cycle and trim, real-world lower, of course, but still highly competitive. This means serious daily usability with real performance, technology, and safety. This is where Geely flexes hard. Advanced driver assistance systems, multiple cameras, radars, smart highway support, parking automation features depending on trim, strong EV platform engineering and modern safety structure, multiple airbags, electronic stability systems, active braking tech. Bro, this is not cheap Chinese car territory anymore. This is modern premium competition. Price and value. Now guess the price, because this part is painful for rivals in China. Pricing can massively undercut similarly sized premium EV sedans from Europe. Think less than Mercedes EQE territory, less than BMW i5 territory, while offering insane screens and monster specs. That's where things become dangerous, because if customers can get more tech and more speed for less money, brand loyalty starts shaking. Practicality, large, cabin, big rear legroom, useful trunk space, comfortable daily ride, strong highway capability. This is not just flashy showroom bait. It's a real usable sedan. Canada roads, long drives, family duty, this thing could handle it. Owner experience. Owners are drawn to the wow factor interior, quiet cabin, rapid acceleration, and the feeling of driving something futuristic. It gives premium vibes without premium punishment, and that matters. Final reaction. Bro, the Geely Galaxy E8 feels like the point where Chinese sedans stop asking for respect and start demanding it. This car has size, speed, luxury, tech presence, and if it enters Canada properly, a lot of people are going to ask one brutal question: why am I paying more for the badge? Now be honest, would you take the Galaxy E8 over a BMW i5, Tesla Model 3, or Mercedes EQE? Comment below. Because the next two cars are bringing even more pressure. Now let's move to the fourth car, and bro, this one is the car that made a lot of people stop laughing at Chinese sedans, BYD Han. This is not some startup experiment. This is BYD saying we can build luxury, speed, range, and value in one package. And honestly, if this hits Canada properly, some Tesla and German sedan owners are going to feel very uncomfortable. Exterior. First look, Hue. This thing has presence, long body wide stance, sharp LED headlights, full width rear light bar, clean premium proportions length, around 4.99 meters width, 1.91 meters wheelbase, 2.92 meters. Bro, that's executive sedan size. This is larger than a Tesla Model 3, larger than BMW 3 Series, and playing near BMW 5 Series territory. And it looks expensive too. Not weird. EV expensive, actually elegant expensive. BYD calls this design language bold and sporty, and honestly, they nailed it with the low drag shape around 0.23 CD interior. Now open the door and hold on. Premium seats, large rotating center screen, digital driver display, ambient lighting, panoramic roof, feel clean, luxury layout. Bro, this cabin feels way more upscale than people expect. Some trims offer Napa leather, heated and ventilated seating, and strong audio systems mentioned in market specs and reviews. Tesla gives you minimalism, BYD gives you atmosphere. Rear seat space is excellent too. This is the kind of sedan where passengers sit in the back and suddenly start acting rich. Performance. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where things get silly. Dual motor AWD versions produce up to around 494 horsepower in earlier specs, with stronger later variants beyond that, depending on market/version, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Around 3.9 seconds for performance EV trims, bro. That is sports car quick. This giant luxury sedan can embarrass older V8 sedans while making zero drama and almost zero noise range. Up to around 521 kilometers WLTP listed by EV databases, with higher CLTC figures in some markets. That means real daily usability, road trips, and no constant charger anxiety. Technology and safety. This is where BYD flexes. Hard blade battery tech, known for safety-focused LFP chemistry and nail penetration publicity tests. You also get ADAS features in many markets: adaptive cruise lane, keep assist blind spot systems, 360 cameras, automatic emergency braking, multiple airbags, too, with some market versions listing very high counts. Bro, this is not budget spec, this is premium competition spec, price and value. Now guess the price? Seriously, because in China and several markets, Han pricing undercuts comparable German EV sedans heavily. You can be in Han money, while rivals like BMW i5, Mercedes EQE, or loaded Tesla trims ask much more. This is where the headache begins for competitors, because if buyers compare features per dollar, things get dangerous. Practicality: 5 seats usable, trunk around 430 liters in some specs. Comfortable ride, big cabin, family-ready size Canada highways, yes. Daily commuting, yes. Airport runs while looking important, also yes. Owner experience. Owners often praise the comfort, acceleration, quiet cabin, and value. Many feel they bought a premium sedan without paying the premium badge tax, and that feeling matters. Final reaction. Bro, the BYD Han is the moment Chinese sedans stopped being interesting alternatives and became real threats. It has size, luxury, range, speed, value, and if it lands in Canada properly, a lot of people will ask one brutal question: why am I paying more for less? Now be honest. Would you take the BYD Han over a Tesla Model 3, BMW i5, or Mercedes EQE? Comment below, because the final car is bringing absolute chaos. Now we've reached the 5th and final car. And bro, this one might be the most dangerous sedan on the entire list. Zeekr 007. This is the car that makes people realize China is no longer chasing Tesla, BMW, or Mercedes. It's hunting them. And honestly, if this lands in Canada the right way, the market is going to get chaotic. Exterior. First look, this thing looks expensive. Low slung body, sharp coupe-like silhouette, clean flush surfaces, frameless doors, full width, futuristic lighting, And then there's the front end. Zeekr added an interactive smart light panel across the nose in some versions. Bro, yes, the front of the car can communicate visually. This is absurd. Length, around 4.86 meters. Width, around 1.90 meters. Wheelbase, nearly 2.93 meters. That puts it right into premium sports sedan territory. Bigger than Tesla Model 3, competitive with BMW i4, and sitting confidently near larger executive rivals. The stance is muscular, modern, and expensive looking. This doesn't look like a newcomer. This looks like a warning. Interior, open the door and hold on. Premium seats, large floating central screen, digital driver display, clean luxury dashboard, ambient lighting, panoramic roof feel. Bro, the cabin feels like Scandinavian luxury mixed with Silicon Valley tech. Materials are strong, layout is elegant, and everything looks intentional. Not cluttered like some legacy brands trying too hard.
They care about price, and these Chinese sedans are attacking all four. Of course, trust, dealership networks, long-term support, and resale value still matter. That's where legacy brands still have advantages, but the gap is closing fast. So the real battle now is not East versus West. It's old thinking versus new thinking badge, versus value, legacy versus innovation, and the customer wins when brands are forced to compete harder. Now I want the truth from you. Which one would you actually buy? Xpeng P7 Plus Nio ET5, Geely Galaxy E8, BYD Han Zeekr 007, or are you still staying loyal to Tesla, BMW, or Mercedes? Comment below and let the war begin. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Car Lust because the next one will be even crazier.